My sweetheart, I've been trying to find the right way to start this, but the truth is I'm still a little shaken by everything I felt last night. Not in a bad way, just in a way that made me stop and think. Sometimes moments stay with you long after they're over, and this one has been replaying in my mind again and again. The things you said, the calm in your voice, the way you looked at me with a kind of understanding I wasn't expecting, it all hit deeper than I realized at the time. What surprised me the most was how naturally you carried yourself. You weren't trying to impress me or pretend to be something you're not. You didn't try to force anything or act a certain way. You were just yourself, honest, real, and steady. There's something powerful about someone who doesn't push or perform. It makes the people around them feel like they can just breathe. That's what happened to me. You made me breathe in a way I haven't in a long time. Last night something in me shifted. There was no dramatic moment or big emotional speech. It was the quietness of it all. The ease. You made it seem like I didn't have to hide parts of myself, like I didn't have to explain every little thing I usually keep locked up. You saw pieces of me I don't normally show anyone, thoughts I avoid, emotions I push down, memories I don't dig up unless I have to. And instead of stepping back, you stayed right there. You didn't look uncomfortable. You didn't treat me like I was too much. You simply stayed present, and that meant more to me than I think you know. For a long time I've been running from myself. Maybe not in obvious ways, but inside. I've carried anger and frustration from things I still don't talk about. I've carried sadness that I've pretended didn't matter anymore. I've carried mistakes, disappointments, all these invisible weights that I kept convincing myself I needed to carry alone. I didn't want anyone to see those things because I thought if they did, they'd walk away. That's what happens sometimes. When people get too close, they back off once they notice the cracks. I guess I thought the same thing would happen again. But last night proved something to me. You listened in a way that wasn't rushed. You didn't judge me for being honest. You didn't treat my emotions like they were problems to fix. You didn't try to offer a perfect answer or some kind of solution. You just let me be human. And honestly, I didn't know how much I needed that. It's rare to feel understood without having to perform or pretend. It's rare to speak honestly and not regret it afterward. But that's how I felt. Safe, heard, seen, not in some dramatic, life-changing way, but in a simple, real way. And it made me stop running, at least for a moment. It made me wonder if maybe I don't have to keep things buried all the time. Maybe it's okay to let someone in just enough to ease the weight. I've spent so many nights wondering if I'd ever meet someone who wouldn't expect perfection from me. Someone who wouldn't turn away if I admitted I didn't have it all together. I never needed anyone to rescue me or solve my problems. That's never what I wanted. What I needed was someone who could look at me and see a person who's still trying, still learning, still carrying things, but still moving forward. And last night, for the first time in a long time, I felt that. You didn't fix anything, and you didn't need to. All you did was show me that being honest doesn't always lead to rejection, that people can stay even when they see the difficult parts, that someone can hear the truth and not run from it. That alone opened something inside me I didn't realize was still closed. You reminded me that softer things exist, things like patience, calmness, understanding, and quiet support. You reminded me that life doesn't always have to feel like a battle. I don't always have to brace myself for impact. I don't always have to keep my guard up so high that nobody gets through. For the first time in a long while, I felt like maybe I could lower that guard, even if only a little. Not because everything is suddenly perfect, and not because I'm suddenly healed, but because someone finally showed me what it feels like when another person listens without fear or judgment. Last night didn't erase my past, and it didn't magically remove the weight I carry, but it did something else, something small but important. It made me believe that people like you exist, people who don't demand perfection, who don't get scared off easily, who can sit with someone else's truth and not feel overwhelmed by it. And that gave me a kind of hope I didn't expect to feel. I want to learn how to breathe again, not like a man who is fighting for air, but like a man who has finally come home and can relax into himself. I know I haven't always made things easy. There were days when I stayed quiet even though my heart was full, and I should have spoken. There were nights when I disappeared into myself instead of reaching out for your hand. It wasn't because I wanted to push you away or make you feel unwanted. I was trying not to need anyone. I was trying not to depend on anyone, because the last time I trusted like that, I was left standing in ruins, wondering what was wrong with me. But then you walked into those ruins like they were a hidden garden. You moved through the broken pieces of my past like you weren't afraid of them. Slowly, things inside me started to bloom again. Parts of me that had gone cold began to feel warm. Parts of me that had stayed silent for years began to whisper again. So if I seemed strange last night, if my energy felt off, if I looked at you for a little too long or said something that felt too raw and too honest, it's because you unlocked a part of me I honestly thought was gone. You woke up the boy inside the man, the boy who still believes in forever, the boy who still believes in building something real and sacred with someone who chooses to stay. You brought him back to life, and now he doesn't want to hide anymore. There is still so much I haven't told you, so many stories buried under my silence, so many fears I learned to carry alone, so many nights I pretended I was fine when I was actually breaking. But I'm not running from that anymore. I'm not hiding from myself anymore. I'm ready now, ready to be real, ready to be seen, ready to let you see the parts of me that aren't polished or perfect. I want to love you in a way that feels safe, not fake, in a way that doesn't run when things get heavy, but stays, holds on, and breathes through the hard moments. I don't want love that is only pretty in the light. I want the kind of love that can sit with me in the dark and still choose me, because I'm not just falling for your face, your beauty, or the way you light up a room. I'm not just falling for how smart you are or the way your laugh stays in my mind when I close my eyes. I'm falling for the way your soul knows how to hold mine without asking me to prove that I'm worth it. You don't demand that I perform or pretend, you just let me be, and somehow that is what heals me the most. Maybe that's why I feel so shaken sometimes. There is this deep knowing inside me, a quiet recognition that feels older than this life. It feels like somewhere, long before we were here like this, our souls already knew each other. And the first time I truly saw you, not just your face, but your spirit, your softness, your strength, something ancient inside me whispered, "There she is." It didn't feel like meeting you. It felt like remembering you. What happened last night between us didn't feel like just a random moment. It felt like a memory from another lifetime, waking up again inside this one. It felt like something that had been waiting patiently for us to be ready. I still remember the way your voice trembled the first time you told me you trusted me. You didn't just say the words like they were casual or light. You handed them to me carefully, like you were placing your heart in my hands. There was no drama in that moment, no big scene, no loud confession. It was quiet, honest, and sacred. And even though I didn't say much then, I felt something holy in that silence. You didn't only trust me with your smile or your jokes or your time. You trusted me with your quiet. You trusted me with your fears. You let me see the parts of you that the world never really took time to understand. You let me stand next to the parts of you that still hurt, and that changed me. Ever since that moment, I have felt a fire inside me, a steady knowing that I am not supposed to let you go, that you are not just someone I care about. You are not just someone I love in a regular way. You are the person who walked into my ruins and saw a garden. You are the person whose soul feels like home to mine. And because of that, I want to show up as the version of me who doesn't run, who doesn't shut down, who stays, breathes, and chooses you again and again. You are someone my soul started walking toward long before I even knew what real love was, before I understood relationships, before I knew what commitment meant, before I knew what it felt like to be truly seen. Something in me was already moving in your direction. It's like my heart recognized you long before my mind did. But it's not just your softness that holds me. Yes, you're gentle, kind, and caring, and I love that about you. But it's also your strength, the way you keep choosing light in a world that hasn't always been kind to you. You've been hurt, you've been overlooked, you've been disappointed, and still you try again. You still love, still give, still show up for people who need you. Even when your own world feels like it's falling apart, you somehow find room to hold others together. That amazes me every time. You don't see yourself clearly. You don't even realize how you change a room just by walking into it. The energy shifts. People feel calmer or safer or more alive, and they don't even know why. But I know. You carry something holy in your presence. There's heaven in your breath, in your laugh, in the way you say someone's name. It hurts me sometimes that you don't see it, that you look in the mirror and question your worth when you are one of the rarest souls I've ever known. You think you're ordinary. You call yourself just a person, nothing special. But that's not true. Baby, you're a miracle. A miracle walking around in a tired body with a soft smile that pretends everything is okay, even when it's not. You've survived things that would have broken other people. You still choose love, even after heartbreak. You still choose hope, even after disappointment. You still try. That is not ordinary. That is extraordinary. I've watched the way people misunderstand you, how they label you without really knowing you, how they try to put you into boxes, push expectations onto you that were never meant for someone like you. They want you to shrink, to fit, to be easier to explain. But you were never meant to be simple background noise. You were made to be a whole universe. And I've hated myself at times for not protecting you better from all of that. For the moments I stayed quiet when I should have spoken up. For the times I saw you hurting and didn't know how to hold you. For not stepping in sooner. For not standing louder. For not being the shield you deserved when the world felt too heavy. I've carried that regret in my chest. But now I want to be different. I want to be that shield. I want to be the one who doesn't look away when your pain shows. The one who hears the things you're too scared to say out loud. The one who feels your sadness even when you're smiling. The one who notices your tears before you even know they're about to fall. I want to be the person who understands your silence better than your words. The one who can look into your eyes and know when you're tired, overwhelmed, or pretending you're okay. Because you deserve that level of love. You deserve someone who doesn't just love the version of you that the world claps for. The strong you, the happy you, the successful you. You deserve someone who loves you when you don't feel like anything special at all. You deserve someone who stays when you fall apart. Someone who doesn't flinch at your shadows, who doesn't run from your dark days, who doesn't judge the parts of you that still hurt. You deserve someone who kisses your scars, emotional and physical, like they are proof of your courage, not proof of your damage, like they're part of a love story written across your skin in light and starlight. Sometimes I wonder if you felt me last night around 2 a.m. The world was quiet, but inside me everything was loud. My soul was saying your name over and over again. I sat up in bed, heart racing, like your energy had just washed over me from miles away. I didn't see you, but I felt you. I felt the ache in your chest. I felt how your eyes were tired but fighting sleep. I felt your mind racing in circles, trying not to break down again, trying to be strong even though you were exhausted. And in that moment, more than anything, I wanted to be by your side. I wanted to hold you close, pull you into my arms and whisper, "You're not alone. I'm still here. I still believe in you." I wanted you to know that I still see the girl I fell in love with. The one with the big heart, the deep soul, the soft spirit. Even on the days when you can't see her yourself, you know what keeps me up at night? The thought that maybe you've been wondering if I still care, if I still feel what I used to feel. If my silence meant I gave up on you, on us, on everything we once dreamed about. But baby, I never gave up. I just didn't know how to show up in the way you needed. I've been learning. I've been healing old wounds of my own. I've been failing and trying again. I've made mistakes I wish I could erase. Words I wish I could unsay. Choices I wish I could redo. But none of those things have erased how I feel about you. If anything, they've made it clearer. Because every time I try to move on, every time I try to convince myself to forget you, life somehow leads me right back to your name, to your memory, to your energy. You're not just a chapter from my past. You're the map my heart keeps following. You're the direction I keep turning toward. Even when I tell myself I won't, there's something I need to admit, something I've never really said out loud. I'm scared of losing you forever, not because I think we are weak, but because I know how rare what we have is. I know the universe doesn't hand out this kind of connection to just anybody. This kind of love, the kind that echoes in the middle of the night, the kind you can feel across distance, the kind that keeps pulling two souls back together. It's not common, and that's why, no matter where we go from here, I need you to know this. You were never ordinary to me. You never will be.